All right, are we here? Am I finally on? Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you did. If you stayed with me and bared through this, and I know this is a different URL, I think, than what we had going for the stream. But hopefully you guys are in there, and internet here evidently was really bad, so I tried to switch to my phone and made it even worse. So can you guys hear me? I got a thumbs up. Not sure if that was for that, but I'm good to go though. We can hear you good. Thank you. So welcome everybody in the stream. As you can see, we have a different little format that I set up. That wasn't just for this week. That was something that I actually been working on here. So hopefully this is pretty cool. Hopefully this works out, and I have the stream in there. I think it just kind of works out. Hopefully, if you're watching this video later, which I notice a lot of people that watch this live stream, they watch it later, not watching it live, and it's easier if somebody's watching it, then they can see what all people are talking about. When I respond to them to questions, they have an idea of kind of what I've been talking based on the live stream. So of course, I will maybe slow it down at times, so it may not, what you see on there may be a little different than what I'm doing. But again, Tim Bart's here, Law McArthur Ford. It's not in Salina, Kansas. We are in Las Vegas, and I'm looking down at my computer instead of the camera. So, so we are here in Las Vegas. So you probably can't see it. I think I looked earlier. See if I move out of the way, and it can focus. I am at the Mirage. So across the way, we do have the Venetian over there, and Palazzo. I think that's how you say it. Treasure Island over there too. So always enjoy. Of course, I just love all the different sites here in Vegas. And I'm a big person that if you know anything about me, I love the Bellagio fountains. I can go down there and watch them. So I'll do that yet. I tried last night. It's so cold here. Sorry, the chair's squeaking. I'll try to move to the front top here. But so I will make my way down there, see the those, as well as this volcano goes off, which I didn't hear it last night. But normally that volcano here at the Mirage will go off too. So really looking forward to doing that. And guess what? The sun's coming down and it's hitting the wind right there. Uh-oh. Might have to see if we can block some of that and see if you can see me. Actually, there we go. No light too. So anyway, so we'll get into the stream here. But the Vegas is what they call digital dealer. So they do this twice a year, because when it comes to digital aspects of what I do, you know, it moves so fast. You know, every 6 months instead of yearly. You know, a lot of conferences, you know, they might meet once a year, but for digital dealer, you know, we have to meet twice a year, because so many things can change, things that are new come about. And I said this, I think last week, was that it was actually Digital Dealer about 6 years ago where they were talking about video, and I'm like, hey, I want to try that. I want to start doing that. And it was a Digital Dealer that got me started on that. And so I do want to, I really enjoy that. And I've actually spoke here at Digital Dealer on video on how to start a YouTube channel and such for dealers out there. And so I always give back to that community as well. So do enjoy coming here to learn as much as I can. I wasn't planning on coming. I wasn't sure, you know, about, you know, timing, a lot of stuff going on here with Maverick and everything. So I wasn't sure I was going to go, but one of our vendor partners actually gave me a comp ticket. So we just had to pay for airfare and hotel. So we decided, hey, let's go and let's learn some things and see what we can find out here. And of course, I'll always get an opportunity to talk to some of our vendor partners as well that we work real closely with. So enough about that, but I also wanted to welcome everybody into the stream here. So it looks like I got going. Now I am doing this all on my laptop here, so bear with me just a little bit. Normally I have a much bigger monitor with, you know, YouTube over here and then the stream and everything over there, so let me just bear with me today. But also, while I'm kind of bringing up my notes of what we want to talk about today, don't forget, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit the red subscribe button down below so you can get subscribed to the channel. Hit that notification bell so that way you get notified the next time we have another video uploaded to our channel. And don't forget, if you're you know, if you're interested in, you've been following us and subscribed to the channel for a while, you want to learn a little bit more about it, we do have membership available. Hit that join button. You can learn more about that down there as well. So, uh-oh, my stream's getting slow. Come on. My hotel room, by the way, I'm clear on the end. I'm not even towards the middle of the hotel. I'm clear on the end. They put me like, I'm on like the very last room on the 6th floor here. So hopefully internet doesn't go out on us. But I'm going to keep my eye on that. So we're going to get started. Actually, the original stream I had notes of what I wanted to cover and kind of some of the topics. I do have it in my notes, but it's probably not down in the description. So I'll try to throw that in there when I get done with the stream here. So you guys will be able to see that if you watch this later. So first off, we're going to talk about some things that are not scheduling for this week. Some vehicles are scheduled, some are not. Usually about this time of the year, we do see a lot of turnover and new model years coming out, and so they shut down and don't schedule for a couple weeks and sometimes a month until they do start up for the next model year. So let's talk about some of the ones that are not scheduling this week. Bronco is not scheduling this week. Bronco Sport is not scheduling this week. EcoSport, Expedition, Explorer, Mustang, Mach-E, and Transit. All those vehicle lines are not scheduling this week. So you might ask, what is scheduling, Tim? Well, I'm going to tell you. So scheduling this week, we have the 2021 F-150 is scheduling this week, the 21 Ranger, and the rest of them are 22 model years. The 22 Maverick, which is a very important week this week. This is the first week for October scheduling. Those will be your December build dates. Then also 22 Super Duty, 22 Transit Connect van and wagon, 22 Edge, and the startup for the 20 this week as well. So that's they're going to be starting up and ramping up. So this will be the first week of 22 Escape. Again, keep my eye on that. I get a little red popping up there. Hopefully it doesn't say red for very long. Come on. Okay, and so also some different scheduling notes I want to go over for this week. So 22 Bronco orders opens tomorrow, which means that that's when we can actually, like right now, the orders have been locked for 21, and then tomorrow is when we're going to be able to go into those orders. They've been all basically converted over to 22s, and then we're going to be able to go into those orders and change them. I think they're going to be even put in there, because I did see some notes on another model there that they're going to be put into priority 99, and we might have to do some changes there. But so we do have a deadline of like October 28th, I believe, for switching those orders over to any changes that want to be made. So anybody that had a 21 Bronco order, they're getting kicked and converted over to 22. Dealers will need to go in there into each one of those orders and make sure they're good. If there's any colors that they had that are not available, those colors have to be changed. The Wild Track no longer has, well, we're going to get into some other things here in just a little bit, but some things will have to be changed on those orders. So if you have a Bronco order and a 21 and has not been scheduled yet, you want to make sure you get a hold of your dealer. If you're here at McArthur, we're going to be getting a hold of you. You don't need to worry about that, but we are going to be changing those orders over and going in there and making sure they're all good before that date, so that those 22 Broncos can start to schedule, which should be coming up here pretty soon. They will be scheduling December startup in November. So we have rest of this month, and then November is when you're going to see the scheduling for December startup for the 22 model year. 22 Escape startup is this week, mentioned that earlier. 22 Mach-E, all the 21s are getting converted to 22 again. They're going to be put in as priority 99s, so the dealer will need to go in there and update those orders, and any leftover 21 orders, of course, since they're going to they're copying them over, so there may be a 21 order in there, they can be canceled out because they've been already converted over and doubled up as a 22. 21 Ranger orders are due. If you're wanting a 21 Ranger, they are scheduling like we mentioned this week. If you're wanting a 21 Ranger, order deadline is Thursday for the Ranger. If you're wanting a 21, there's a lot of great changes in 22, so if you're on the fence on that, I'd be looking at the 22. Didn't really see anything canceled, but some things that are really awesome that be added to the 22 model year. I'd probably look at that anyway. 21 Expedition, any of those 21 orders have to be in by October 21st, so you need to get that in there pretty soon. Got another week there for that. 22 Mustang order banks are now open. Well, not yet, I guess. I forgot to read here. 22 Mustang order banks open Monday. So if you're looking at a 22 Mustang, those order banks will be opening up for those orders then. I have not closed out yet on 21, I believe, so going to have some time for that. And 22 order guide changes. I actually did a video and I didn't post it yet. I wasn't real happy with how it turned out, but there are a lot of changes to the Bronco for 22 model year. Again, there are some new colors. We mentioned them a couple weeks ago: hot pepper red, eruption green, cyber orange, now available on even the base and the Big Bend, which I would have went with that color if it was available in the Big Bend. So I am a little bummed that that color wasn't available last year for those two trims. Discontinued colors: antimatter blue, rapid red, and lightning blue, which lightning blue was a first edition color. And again, first edition not available this year. All the other trims are continuing this year for the Wild Track. Last year it came standard with a hard top for the 4-door. It is now going to be a soft top for the 4-door standard equipment, and you'll have to add the optional hard top to your order if you want that. And then also manual transmission is going to be available for the Sasquatch. There are a lot of our order holders for 21 that are actually wanting to hold off for the 22 because of that. They're wanting that manual transmission on the Sasquatch. Also, there is a change to the bumpers on the Black Diamond and the Big Bend. Black Diamond and Badlands. So let me show you some of those images here. So, all right, as you're seeing here right now, that is the standard bumper on for 21, the Black Diamond and your Badlands. You get the modular front bumper up there, steel bumper, has that look. That is called a heavy-duty modular front bumper. That is now the optional bumper on all trims, including the Black Diamond and the Badlands. So here is the new bumper. So that's what the bumper now looks like. That's going to be the standard bumper for the Black Diamond and the Badlands. So I did ask the brand manager. I said, hey, again, just kind of curious if they're a Black Diamond or Badlands order holder, and they wanted that bumper, the modular front bumper instead. Since it's an option, it's like $595 option there. Do they have to pay the $595 because that's the way they order their 21? And he said no, it's going to be a no charge option for those that want that. So, and then also they said that if you want the capable front bumper, since it's $595 less, you will actually get comped $595. So they will give you back $595. So that's really cool that Ford's doing that. They're making it right there because I'm one that actually I love that front bumper. In fact, I've been looking at possibly upgrading to that bumper. And this is, of course, so there is the capable front bumper. So also something else that's new for the Bronco is going to be these tube doors, now available as a dealer installed option. So you have two different versions. So I just kind of threw in this one image here. I don't know what they're going to look different, but if you want those tube doors, and the benefit of that is if you want that open air, you want to take the doors off, but you're going to do some off-roading that might throw you a little bit, you can put those on to help keep you inside of the vehicle. Plus they look cool. A lot of people really like those, and they're really looking to get those. That's something that's going to be a dealer installed option. So basically those doors will be shipped to the dealership ahead of time, and usually the dealer will just give them to you because you're going to put them on when you want to. So they won't actually be, the dealer won't be really installing them. They'll just be handing them off to you. Something else is a tailgate. There's a get down here to my notes. There's also an appearance kit as well that's available on all trims except for the Badlands and Wild Track. So not sure if that appearance package or appearance kit is the vinyl stripes that come on the Badlands and the Wild Track. So maybe they're going to include that. And then there's also a tailgate table is what they're calling it. So I'm not sure if that's the slide out tray or if it's a table that comes from the back of the thing, because it actually was back of the swing gate, because we saw that was available as accessories last year, but now we're calling it a dealer installed option. So I'm not sure exactly what that looks like, so we'll just have to wait and see how things are looking there. Also, something to make note, last week, if you got a chance to see Ford's live stream for the Maverick, I put the link down in the description, mentioned a couple weeks. They're doing it again this week, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Time, so 4 Eastern, 3 Central, be 1 o'clock where I'm at. If you want to get in there and check that. So some people, I got into the live stream last week, so you might ask, what is it like? what do you expect from that live stream, impressions that I had from last week. So basically what it looked like to me was more of a delivery walk around. So it's kind of like what maybe I would do for a new customer getting the Maverick, of kind of going around the vehicle and kind of teaching them about their vehicle. So that's really what it seemed like more than anything was. It's a great little I'm not sure if it was really a live stream. They act like it was live. It looked like it was live. And the questions came in. They did answer some of the questions. So, of course, we couldn't see the questions, but it seemed like they would answer some of the questions. It really has to do with product. If you have anything about the process, about whether or not yours getting scheduled, that kind of stuff, they're not going to answer any of those questions on that live stream. It's really just about the product. It's just about the features on the vehicle, and what it can do, and just some things to keep in mind, and how to do some things. So it's a great video for those. So it's a great, if you're getting, especially if you're getting one drop shipped from one of these dealerships that are giving you discount deals, or even if we are, that's a great thing to watch and be able to know how to use your vehicle and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what that is all about. Now I want to comment on some things that I did see recently, and I like to put videos out there when I see something that concerns me or something I'm seeing happening a lot. But this is something I can't really do much about, and that is there's dealers out there that are marking up custom orders once they arrive. So not right. That's kind of shady business there. Hopefully people call them out. I know one person on Reddit said that they did contact Ford. Ford did some things, helped them out, and the dealer is sticking to the price they originally verbally mentioned. But if you're out there and you have a vehicle, a Maverick, on order with a dealership, maybe it hasn't scheduled, maybe it has, I would go to the dealership. And if you have not had a buyer's order that has the price and it has the taxes, or if you get them or not, or the dealer fees, then you need to get that. And if you have a dealer that says, oh yeah, they're going to do MSRP, well, a lot of these people that had said the same thing, and that is not what happened. So when it finally came in, they saw the demand on this, and they saw that there's so many dealers selling theirs for $5,000. I've even seen $9,000 over on their stock units. So now that the customer units are coming in, they're like, hey, well, it was MSRP, back in June when you ordered it, but right now, the market value is $5,000 over, and so if you're wanting to buy it, it's $5,000 over. Otherwise, we'll sell it to somebody else. They ordered it for you. That's just wrong. You agreed upon a price. You talked to them when you ordered it. They said they do MSRP. They need to adhere to that. So to make sure they do that, we did it with all of our customers, not just an order sheet that shows that, because that's going to always show MSRP, because that's the manufacturer suggested retail price. You want to actually get a buyer's order. So that's like, hey, I'm buying this vehicle right now from you. What are you going to sell it to me for? And you have that price that's on your order sheet, which is MSRP, and it shows any other dealer fees or any markup. So that way at that time, and you get the general manager to sign it or the general sales manager to sign it, and then you sign it, that's saying I am committed to buying it as well. So it's agreed upon by both of you that not only are the dealers agreeing to sell it at MSRP with only their dealer fee, which watch those dealer fees too, because some of those dealer fees include a markup, a market adjustment fee. Well, that's not a fee. That's that. And don't just look at the MSRP, because they'll say, yep, you can see right there, see, it has MSRP price. But then if you look down at the bottom with all the fees, and you see there's a $1,500 market adjustment fee and then another $299 dealer fee, they're marking the vehicle up $1,500 or whatever it might be. So, we're ones that we are, pricing our stock vehicles up, but we would never do that to any one of our customers on any custom order. That vehicle is ordered for you, and when you ordered it, we agreed upon MSRP, and that's what we stick to it. We do signed buyer's orders, and so that's why when we do a deal here at McArthur on any ordered units, you're going to see 2 copies, the order sheet that shows how your vehicle is ordered with that pricing, and you're going to see the price that we're guaranteeing that we're going to honor as well. So if you haven't done that with your dealership, you have one on order or whatever, go down there, get that in writing, get that on there, and then also I've heard that people where their dealers are marking them up, go to Ford. Ford has a customer service number. Call them and complain, because if they verbally told you MSRP pricing, they need to stick to that. So that's just bad business, and You know, so hopefully, hopefully everything goes well for you. But I've seen some pretty bad stories out there, and I just wanted to clarify that. And here's how you can, and just kind of let you guys know out there how you can get around that. How you can fix that if your dealer's trying to do that for you here. So, okay, that's all the things that I wanted to talk about today. And so now we're going to go ahead. I'm going to check some of the messages in here, some of the questions you guys have. Hopefully, I have some people in this stream. Well, we're at 300, so they did find the stream. I can apologize for that. But we're going to go through and see, are there any questions in here? I might need to scroll up just a little bit. Don't forget, tag along McArthur there if you have any direct questions, so I can make sure that I answer those. Because there, a lot of you guys, I appreciate you guys. You've been in these live streams for a while. You've become friends. You've been seeing each other in live streams and chatting with each other there, and I think that's great. Chat with each other. But if you have a direct question for me, go ahead and put that in there. Oh yeah, so they cannot be released from the factory until they get that okay from Ford headquarters and says, yep, like they did on the EcoBoost. EcoBoost is okay to buy. That happened like right after they started building them that first week. They were released from the factory so that they could be sent off. Hybrid has not gotten that okay yet. So we have been told, I have been told by the brand manager, the Maverick brand manager. Every brand has a brand manager that's in charge of that brand. They manage the whole operation, how it all goes down. And by the way, I think we should all give them a big thumbs up for the job they've done on the Maverick. I tell them every time I email them, I say great job, on that. I thank him for a lot of corresponding back and forth. And so these brand managers, they work really hard to get a good product out and to make a good product. Some of the things they went into the thinking on this, they did an extraordinary job. So we make sure we give them a thank you for that. But contacting them, he has not given, and he actually gave me an email that are corresponding back and forth with him, some other dealers as well, that when the EcoBoost had the okay to buy, he emailed me that information like right away. It was like, I think it was 8 o'clock at night when I got that email on the EcoBoost engines. But on the hybrids, I haven't gotten anything from him. So I did message him, and I do want to keep my phone on, because if he does email back, then I want to make sure that I get that. So let me pull up my emails here. So I don't see any, got a bunch of emails. No emails from him yet, so if I get one during the live stream, I'll let you guys know. But at this point in time, it looks like to me that that's not a dealer level Ford source there for them. It's someone within the plant. So Maverick Truck Club does a great job of getting information out. So I want to first, of course, appreciate what they do, and having such a great forum for not sources that, as a dealer, nobody has said anything yet. So I don't have confirmation on that on the dealer level, like he said. I hope I hope it's earlier than that. I mean, a lot of people are like, I hope that's true, and I hope it's earlier than December 8th. I mean, we're into the middle of October now, so I'd love to see November, and even close to maybe December 8th. So, but maybe hopefully December 8th is the worst case scenario to get those shipped out, and they will continue to build those. Just like I mentioned on the Maverick Truck Club forum, some people asked me, and I actually reached out to him, and word for word, what he had basically said was that that they are still scheduling and they are still producing hybrids. They do not have the okay to buy until the EPA testing is done. So that's basically what they've been telling me. So they are still continuing to build these. So what'll probably happen? Oh, I think I just had some fluctuation there, but I think the stream's still going. But it looks like though they're still building them, so they might sit for a little bit. We've seen Broncos, a bunch of the Broncos sitting because of they didn't like the quality of the tops of the Broncos, so they were sitting in a lot. They called it Dirt Mountain, So they will, just like with those Broncos, once they get the hard tops, then they'll ship those out. Just like with this, once they get the okay to buy, then they should be able to ship those out to us. So December ought to be a big month for getting those out. See, making sure that stream's still going there. You guys charge MSRP on stock Mavericks. We are not. We are going over MSRP, $100 over MSRP. And I know a lot of people are, upset with us on that, but we haven't been able to keep one, and since that, I mean, we're really seeing the market value is about $5,000 over on a lot of these. I think a lot of you have mentioned that in the groups that they're buying, they're going in and buying stock Mavericks, for $3, $4, $5,000 over. I will say the ones that we've sold were to a couple of them were to current Maverick holders, order holders that didn't want to wait for theirs, and so they wanted one of our stock units, and we did 2,500 over on those, and that's what are initially on our stock units. That's what we'll be doing. And I always look at this another way. A lot of you that are in the group in here probably have Mavericks on order, and how would you feel? And somebody that you knew in June, July, you wanted to order a Maverick, right? You put that order in, you got your MSRP pricing, you got it customized the way you want it, right? And you got it built, and you're still waiting. Some of you waiting to even get a scheduled build date. And then a stock unit comes in, and somebody that's maybe they decided in September, I think I want to get one of those. Oh, Lawn McArthur's got one. Let me go on down to Lawn McArthur, and then they come down and they buy one at the same price that you've been waiting 3 months to get your scheduled. That's really not fair either, so there's, we have to kind of figure that all in. And originally we weren't going to mark them up over MSRP because we're not doing that on ordered units, but as a team we just decided, that I think that was just the most fair. We're not, I don't feel like, I know $2,500 is $2,500, but it's not, I've even seen $9,000 over. I know the Hawaii dealers are doing $9,000 over, and I think I even saw one of the Hawaii dealers had a customer's order come in that they originally were going to do $2,000 or $3,000 over, and now they're telling them $9,000, or they'll just sell it. So they're making their customer, they're bumping them and selling them for $9,000 over, and I think that was the one that actually had went to Ford and such. So anyway, so that's what we're looking at. So we're ones that we've always prided ourselves in selling a vehicle close to what wholesale value is. And when we say wholesale value is, if we took that Maverick and we took it to an auction, what would it bring? And right now that's probably $5,000, to be honest. There are a lot of dealers that will buy them for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, and $5,000 at an auction if they had one, and they go sell it to their customer and probably ask them $5,000, $6,000. So we learned that in our Super Duties. I think I've mentioned it in live streams before. In the past, in May, June, when the inventories were going down and we didn't have as many, we saw customers buying our vehicles for MSRP, and then they were taking them to the auctions just an hour from us and selling them for $5,000 over sticker, and they pocketed the $5,000. Of course, we made nothing. Well, we made MSRP, so we did make a couple grand. Then they sold it. They got $5,000, and then a dealership from down in Texas were buying them up right and left in Wichita and selling them for $10,000 over. So so that's one of those things. We do pay to be a Ford dealership. We pay. We have a lot of stock in that. We have to buy these vehicles. We have to keep inventory and such. And when the inventory amounts are low, you got to think about that. We do have employees that we want to keep. We've been very fortunate that we haven't had to let any of our sales staff go during the pandemic when our inventory numbers were low. And yes, we had to raise our prices, because when you sell less, you got to make a little more so you can pay your employees and pay them. So, and just that's kind of what's happening these days. And we have a lot of inventory. We're very thankful for that, but also, if we lower our prices down too much, then we're going to see a lot of that inventory dwindle real fast. They'll actually go to auctions and then be purchased to dealerships that need the inventory because they don't have a lot of inventory. So we want to make sure that our vehicles get sold to customers, not to auctions. So that's kind of our goal there. So hopefully I kind of went on and on about that. And we really try to pride ourselves in, thinking like a customer and being, as fair as possible. But we do have to, we have to pay the light bill, we have to pay our employees, and we have a staff that we love, and we want to take care of them. So, okay, looking forward to Blake showing us aftermarket wheels, tires, leveling kits. Yes, I need to get with him. So I definitely need to get with Blake, and we need to get some images and get some things for you guys on different wheels, especially those that want an XL and want to upgrade their wheels, tires, that kind of stuff. Right now, pretty much, if you're maybe looking at a Bronco, if there's any out there, if you're looking for Bronco sport wheels, there's a lot of different aftermarket companies. If you're out there looking for wheels, you could look at a Bronco sport wheel in the same size, whether it be a 17 or 18 or even a 16, and they're going to fit. They're going to have the same bolt pattern as a Bronco Sport, so they should work on your Maverick. So that's another avenue if you want, but we'll get Blake to show us some wheels options that we can get, and we leave that open because we have several different vendors. We have 4 Wheel Parts has wheels there, and we're like their #1 dealer, so we'll get a lot of their wheels from them. Can't remember what different brands, but we should be able to get some fuel wheels, some method wheels, that kind of thing for your Maverick if you want those. Okay, if you were to order a Maverick from McArthur, do you take trade-ins from out of state? Yes, out of state trade-ins are a little tricky because we do have to figure in getting it here. So if you want to drive your vehicle to us and then trade it in and then drive the new Maverick home, that's the easiest thing, and we can always take care of about $1,000 of that if you finance a vehicle with us. Otherwise, if you need to ship your trade-in to us, well, we would ship the Maverick to you. We'd negotiate and figure that out. We would go ahead and ship the Maverick to you, and then once the Maverick comes in, then we'll probably set up, probably from that same driver, to pick your trade-in and bring it back to us. So it would be 2 different freights there for shipping, and that can get pretty costly, so we can cover the first $1,000 of any shipping cost. So if you have a trade-in, that's usually how we'll work that, and we'll still give you, top dollar for your trade-in. Trade-ins are worth a lot of money right now, and so another thing, I think a lot of people are just selling their trade-ins. There's Carvanas and there's different places like that are wanting inventory, especially used inventory, and you can get some pretty good money for those right now. When Ford gets okay to buy, do they ship first in, first out? It should be first in, first out, I would think. I would think it'd be the first ones. They don't really give us that information, but that should be the first ones that are been built. They should be the first ones being shipped out. So, all right, moving on down. Once Ford schedules the build date, ballpark time frame for flights to Salina, Wichita, Kansas to drive ours home, should we be book the flights? I really say maybe you should hold off a little bit because we don't really know exactly. Sometimes we've had issues where a vehicle, normally it's about 3-4 weeks when it shows up, and so we hate to tell you, okay, yeah, it's according to what Ford's email says, it should be here by a certain date. Sometimes it's longer than that. My sister's vehicle was supposed to come in a week before it actually did, and so we hate for you to fly in and then the vehicle not be there. Also, we hate for you to wait until you hear that it's in, but I mean, you're better off trying to do that. I know tickets are more expensive the closer you get to the date that you need to fly out, but we encourage you to wait and see, because a lot of times, sometimes we get a little bit of bottleneck in Kansas City, because usually they run on the rail to Kansas City and then they go on a truck from Kansas City to us. My sister's vehicle sat in Kansas City for a week. So, and I'm getting a Bronco coming. It's shipped out last Friday. It's on its way, and we'll see if get that same bottleneck in Kansas City on it as well. But sometimes that happens, so we hate to do that. Now, what you can do is schedule it out, further out from there, and if you may just have to be here for a little bit if you're wanting to try to get the cheapest flight and that kind of thing. So keep that in mind as well. So. Can't wait for you to fly in. Can't wait to meet you guys. I think you guys are in Maine, right? Ridgeview. So I can't wait for you guys to come in, get those Mavericks in here so we can see each other in person. And you've been in the live streams since the very beginning, I believe. So where do you find the McArthur tags? Are you talking about the tag brackets? I assume that's what you're talking about. I think it's that LC. But those tags, I assume that's what you're referring to. Our license plate brackets, we buy them from a company that puts those on there, several different ones. A lot of our sales guys have some with their names on them and such. Any word on allocations? We received 20 allocations for this month. So probably mostly, the assumption is they're mostly EcoBoost, but I don't know, because we still have 42 EcoBoosts that need to be scheduled, and we have a lot more hybrids that need to be scheduled as well. So hopefully there's a mixture there for some of you out there. Some of you that are out there, kind of concerned about, we do have some people that call the dealership asking about that. You can call your salesperson. I can look up any of your orders. It doesn't take that long at all. Of course, I can't when I'm in Vegas, but when I'm back Friday, I can check any of your orders and such. But just keep that in mind that you will get an email from Ford that will tell you that your vehicle has a scheduled date, and that usually comes out on Thursdays. So keep that in mind. Thursday's the day. You won't, you can check in your emails today, tomorrow. It's Thursday's the day that those emails will go out to let you know. And we still have a bunch of people. My daughter's one of them. She ordered a EcoBoost. In fact, she ordered an EcoBoost with none of the covers or anything. Hers is an EcoBoost all-wheel drive with the XLT luxury package and Copilot 360, the tow package too, as well. She got those 3 packages, so no extra accessories or anything. She listens to her dad, and she hasn't been scheduled yet. And she ordered hers in about July 16th, I believe, or no, June 16th. I mean, so she ordered hers pretty early, and she hasn't been scheduled either. So for some of you out there that haven't had a scheduled EcoBoost and it's been July, there are others that are in the same boat. We see people, a lot of people posting in the group. There's so many people that are in the same boat as you that haven't been scheduled as well. And again, a new launch, this is always the case. Again, you got to get ramped up. You have so many people that are wanting to order these, and then it just takes a while to get everybody's through. So keep that in mind. Okay, looking forward to. All right. All right, so appreciate my moderator in there answering questions too. If I missed any questions, any more applications, I mentioned 20. Did I answer that question, LC? Your question was a ways up there. I'm actually moving up on that group thing. Okay. Alrighty, any questions? Post those questions. If I missed a question there, post that in there. Okay, Stephen, Tim, my XL Maverick was shipped Saturday from Ford. How long will it take to get to your dealership? Can you look at your system? Yes, I can look in the system. Just like with mine, it looks like on the shipping they update about once a week. The last, like I looked at my Bronco last Friday is when I got an email from Ford saying it's being shipped out, and it gives me an approximation date, and I think that's pretty close to the dates everybody's getting theirs. I think there were some people on Bronco that they got theirs about a week earlier than what that date said, or it was at the beginning of that time frame. So I know that someone that got a Bronco, of course those are in Michigan, but he got his in like 2 weeks instead of the 4 weeks that they said. But I think a lot of people, 3 to 4 weeks is probably a good estimation. Really depends on where your dealer is from the factory, really, because we found that out with dealers that were in Michigan and on F-150s. They were getting them like first because they were so close. So it really depends on how close you are. So those California dealers, they're getting them. They're going to get them a little bit quicker than they are in Kansas. They're going to run on the rail to the nearest Ford distributing center, and for us, it's Kansas City, and then they get moved down from there. So, all right. Yep, nice shirt. Got my Maverick shirt on today, and we're at the conference. So, and no salespeople. My concern that I was going to have was there were going to be some other Ford salespeople that might see me and go, wait a minute, you're that guy that's telling everybody to call us and mess with their orders and everything. So I was expecting to maybe get punched or something, but nope. I don't think anybody even realized who I was. We're wearing masks today. I have to wear masks in the hotel, so they probably aren't able to see my face. But representing the Maverick shirt today, though. Happened to know the darkness of the rear windows of the Maverick. Oh, the back windows. I'm not sure what the percent is on those. I know what legal. I think for the front windows are like 30%. I don't know. So I think they're like 40 to 50. I don't know. That would be a great question for Blake. Not sure what the darkness is on them. Those are privacy glass. Those are done from the factory. I'm not sure. All right, somebody had Did I see that? Yeah, the lawn McArthur tags in the chat room. Okay, yeah, the little tags in the chat room are for members. So if you see that little square logo there, those are for people that are members, and they have joined the, you can hit that join button down there. When you become members, we have different colors. So the longer they've been members, the different colors that I get. You'll see, I know that Ridgeview, he's up to red now. He's been with me a couple months. We've only been doing this for about a couple months now for the membership. So they change colors. I think I go 1, 2, 3, and then I go 6, and then go on from there. But so that's where those tags are. So yeah, thanks for explaining that, because I thought you meant our tag brackets for a second. So I need to know the context there. So how exactly does all-wheel drive rebate work for those who qualify? That would be on your, when they pull the Vincent, what they call a smart Vincent, that will cover any different, when they have a VIN number, you'll need your VIN number. Then you'll have, once they pull that VIN number, they go to do the rebates, then they'll be able to see, and it's basically a private offer rebate is what it is. It's a private offer, and that will show when they pull, they need to put your VIN in and your name, address, and everything. As long as that matches up, that order will match up, then you'll get that extra private offer. That's how that's going to go. You're not going to see it on the price of your vehicle on the MSRP. You're going to see it in your incentives, in your rebates and such like that when they pull your VIN number. I was lucky, contacted the brand manager, asked him about that, how they'll know, how that's going to be done, and he actually sent me a list of ours. So your dealer should be able to contact the Ford rep and ask them for the list of the vehicles that get that rebate for your dealership and your orders, and they should be able to give you that information. So because they had to have that order in before they made that announcement, so you would already have that order in your order bank, and so they should be able to give you a list of those people from now here on out that elected to upgrade theirs to the all-wheel drive. If they canceled their order and did a different order, like some dealers I think were doing that wouldn't count. So it has to be an order that got changed in the order system. So hopefully that clarifies that question. And I thought this week, I'm here in Vegas, got nothing to do except for gambling, which I did win $130 last night, so I was pretty happy about that. But so I thought I'd stay on the chat as long as you guys got questions for me. So I'm going to try to answer as many as I can, but this is going pretty quick. Still a lot of people in here. Okay, to buy hybrid, talk about what you know. Yeah, Lee actually mentioned it a little earlier in the stream, but I don't have any information from the brand manager, and that's who I like to talk to in the marketing team. They haven't given me any information. I've got emails into them, and I'm kind of waiting to hear. From what I understand from Maverick Truck Club, they clarified it very clearly that the source that they have is at the plant and down in Mexico, and that's where they got that information from. So it was not from the dealer level or headquarters at Ford. It was actually from, it sounds like to me, someone that went ahead and kind of gave them that information. So, okay. Yeah, I answered that, Jeff. The dealer seems to know nothing. Have you had any experience at your dealership? Yeah, again, on that rebate, it's not really a rebate, it's a private offer, but it's in your incentives. You want to contact your dealer, and they should be able to get that information. Okay, I did get the alert from YouTube here about my streaming connection here, so hopefully it comes back up and that goes away. So anyway, so is it true that the Maverick hybrid OKTB will be December 8th? Yeah, hopefully it's earlier. I don't have any confirmation from Ford themselves, and Maverick Truck Club is always good at putting out that information. When they get something, they put it on there, and I'm sure that that's correct. And so hopefully I'm answering your question right, because you got it in there several times. But yeah, hopefully that's correct, or hopefully it's earlier. I'm really hoping to get a message from them that says that's not true, and that it's going to be in November, or it's going to be even next week or something. So hopefully it's before that, and hopefully that's just a worst case scenario there. So that's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like that's almost 2 months out, and why that date would be that far out if they already kind of know the information, or or whatever. It just seems like, why would they wait till then? But I don't know. So, but we'll see. I'm not saying the information is wrong necessarily. I'm just saying I don't like to jump on anything until I've gotten information from the people that I have contacts with there. I like to talk to the brand manager. I like to talk to the marketing team. They're the ones that, you know, are giving the message out there. And I'm sure with so many people messaging, and the more people that are in the Maverick Truck Club and other places, Ford will have to probably reach out to one of their media sources to break a story of the validity of that. So if it got kind of leaked from somebody in the plant, from a source there, and it is true, then they're probably going to have an article. Something's going to be publicized. So I would see, you know, maybe in a couple weeks, you know, maybe in a couple days, maybe tomorrow or something, that maybe somebody leaks that, or, you know, has an article about that from Ford. So Ford will probably reach out to one of their media sources that they owe a favor to or something, or maybe one of the media sources is reaching out to them, because a lot of them are on the Maverick Truck Club. They're in there and they're seeing that, and so they're wanting to get the exclusive. So they'll have the contacts at Ford to talk to at the headquarter level that can give them that information. So just I think, you know, hopefully next day or two we'll see some information there. So how long before Super Duty start hitting dealer lots? Probably now. We have a bunch. So we've had a bunch of Super Duties hit our lot, stock units, sold units, custom builds. We're seeing all those though. $1,000 shipping rebate to me before must I finance through? Yes. So the way we work that, if you're not aware of that, is that we will ship to you for free, and if you finance the vehicle with us, then we'll cover that shipping cost. And so I'm very transparent about it. Basically, how we pay for that is from the financing. So if you finance, you know, a vehicle, we send Ford or whatever the lender is that finance deal, then the lender gives us a percentage of that as what we call finance profit, and we use that money to pay for the shipping cost. And that's why we usually cap it at $1,000. So if it only costs $300 to ship it to you, we're not going to give you $1,000 off the price and charge you $300. We're just going to cover your shipping costs. So hopefully that's clear there. So most places we can ship to, and it costs us less than $1,000, and that's usually how we work that. And then if it's further than that, like California, there's some other places where it costs us $1,500. We cover the first $1,000 of that, and that's usually how that's worded there. Okay, my yellow warning is back again from YouTube there. Okay, benefits 12.8. Early build hybrids will be sitting for almost 3 months. Battery discharge. Yes, that is actually, you got a point there, Dennis. One of the things that is a problem with hybrids, and my Fusion hybrid is sitting in my driveway right now with a dead battery, because if you don't drive those very often, those batteries will start to die. They need to be running more often and such, and so that is true. So I'm sure they'll take care of that. I'm sure they'll charge them up. Usually all I gotta do is get it charged up and running, you know, jump them and run them for a little bit, and that should help. But yeah, that's not good for them to set either. You're right, it's not good for the health of the battery. You're 100% correct. So I'm hoping that date's not right. I'm hoping it's earlier than that, and we get these ones that are already built shipped off soon, but that's not for me to say. So the hybrid build started 9/14. What is a typical build time? Well, they should already built. They get built in 1 day. So no matter if it's a hybrid or an EcoBoost. So if you got a build date back then, you should have got an email that says your vehicle's built, and then you should have a, you know, the shipping is to be determined, that kind of message. Like I said, and maybe because of this, maybe they are going to hold up. Maybe that's why our allocations are lower on the amount of allocations we got this month. Maybe they're not planning to build any hybrids, knowing that, you know, maybe it's not going to be the 8th, and that's why we're seeing a lower number of allocations for this month, and maybe we're only going to be allocated the 20 for all EcoBoosts. But for this month, we didn't, you know, our wholesale said that it's 40% hybrid still. So anyway, so I guess we'll just have to see. Really interested to see on Thursday what kind of numbers we had, how many of ours were sent off. I'll go through that next week with you guys so you can get an idea. I feel like our dealership is a great way to get an impact of what maybe a lot of dealerships are going to have, because we have so many orders that when we see that we get 20, 40 scheduled, we can give you a breakdown of here of this, like I did last month. Of the 45 we had scheduled, 13 of them were hybrids, and that ended up being 28% of our schedules. So hopefully with 20, it's going to be a real easy percentage to be able to figure out. If we had the truly 5%, what's that, 8 out of 20? Is that right? I don't know. I don't like to do math when I'm on the my stream's going good, my yellow's away, good. Okay. Still in build status. It's a hybrid Lariat, so it's still. I would contact the dealer and have them look it up, because the dealer can look up more information than the emails you get. So maybe I know that you're able to hit the tracking and see where it's at, and maybe they're waiting. Maybe the reason it says it'll say in production, which means they're going to send it to the plant, and then not be built yet. So maybe what's happened is because of maybe what we're seeing here, and maybe this is a great clue, and they're totally 100% right, is that maybe they're holding off on building the hybrids if they know they can't release them till the 8th. Of December, and so maybe that's the case. So maybe yours didn't, but I wouldn't see there were a lot of vehicles that got hybrid vehicles that got built that week of the 13th. So it'd be really weird that yours has a date of 9/8/9/14 and then not get built. So I would contact your dealer, have them look up you can get a little more information than what you're able to see on the tracking. So contact your dealer, have them look it up. Say, I'm just kind of curious. Mine was supposed to be built on the 14th of September. I know they can't be shipped out, but can you look and see if it was actually built yet? That might be worth your while to look into. Especially if you're ordering with us. I don't mind looking those up at all. I do that a lot. Okay. If we're shipped my XL Maverick Saturday, too long, McArthur, why would it take until November 7th to arrive? Mine shipped out last Friday, and it's given me a delivery date of somewhere between the 27th of October to the 7th. And so I wouldn't be surprised. The Mavericks are coming from down in Mexico. I wouldn't be surprised if it's, that's a date range. So it's usually about a month. Is what you usually can figure. About 4 weeks, I think, is what a lot of people are showing on theirs, of when it should show up from the time it was actually built. So if it was built if you have a build date and it says it's been built, and then you even got one that says it's been shipped out, look at that date and go, okay, well, it could be about 4 weeks. So like mine was shipped out on the 8th, so I was thinking, well, it's probably gonna be October 8th or November 8th. But actually mine said about a week earlier than that, so they're figuring about 3 weeks now. So they're getting pretty close to that time frame, being able to really guesstimate that a little bit better. So okay, ordered 22 F-350 packs STX Super Duty on March 1st, build date. Carl, did you get that from us? Because if you don't have or did you get it with another dealer? Because we shouldn't have any unless it's that's 22s are being built. So I'm not sure why that would be, unless maybe they're having issues with like dualies or something in there. So but yeah, if it's with us, either way, you need to contact your dealer and see where the status is on that and see what's going on. We have actually seen some that we had actually an employee that ordered an F-150 way back in May. I think it's finally got hers this week. So just sometimes some things happen. It depends on what you have ordered on your vehicle. It could have something to do with any kind of constraints. Although they haven't mentioned any constraints on Super Duty on 22 in the order and our notes, but that could be some of it. So. Okay. Why is he paid dragging its feet and getting the fuel ratings for Maverick hybrids? I've heard some people think that what's happening is that Ford and the EPA are like arguing, and I don't know if that's the case or not. So like they're like debating, you know, like they're saying, hey, you need to do this or you need to fix this, and Ford's not wanting to. I've heard that as a rumor. Of course, there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, so really don't know for sure what's taken so long. I do know that they've submitted the information to EPA in June, and so not sure what's going on. Somebody actually found the actual submission to the EPA, and it was supposed to be, it was like in June or something. So, all right. Okay, I put order in October 4th. I have not gotten an email from Ford yet. I did call, and Ford confirmed that they had my order. Should I worry? So I didn't get the confirmation email. So random, if it was with us, then we need to look at that, because the reason you probably didn't receive it, but Ford seeing the order means the order was submitted, but your email address wasn't put. When you do an order, you can do as little as what you have to put in a custom order on the WebDo is you have to put the customer's name, first name and last name. That's all you have to put in there. But you can also fill out the rest of it. So some dealers are, and then they fill in your physical address and email address, and they can even put in a backup email address. We like to put our salesperson in there so they get the email along with the customer. Then once they have to resubmit that, it doesn't change your order. It's still that order date, but you just have to, once you make any changes to an order, it actually gives it a draft, and then you have to go ahead and submit again. And when you do that, it'll turn green, back to blue, and then you should get that email within 5 minutes. So probably ask your dealer if they missed putting your email address into it's the customer profile. It's the left bottom corner of the WebDo order, and then you can they can change that in there. Have you seen, or do you anticipate a decline in the F-150 and Ranger sales with the new Maverick? I don't think so. I think people that want an F-150, I think we might see less F-Series, but truck sales in general shouldn't change anything. I think we're seeing a lot of people that are getting they're not choosing to get a Maverick over an F-150. And they may choose to get a Maverick over a Ranger. I could possibly see that happening. But I think that, they're, they look at F-Series sales, and so I don't think they would want to have anything compete with the F-150 because it isn't the #1 selling vehicle. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but I don't think Ford will put something out there and to have it compete with the F-150 if they think it'll take some of their sales away. They don't want to lose that, knowing that they're the #1 vehicles, sold in America for I don't know how many years now. They don't want to lose that. So hopefully that doesn't happen. So I got a Maverick order confirmation email, but my Ford account on website doesn't have the order. Yeah, the Mavericks won't show in there. Mine doesn't either. It's for some reason it's the way that Ford's doing it. Mach-E, Bronco, the F-150 Lightning, those all show as a reservation. Switch over to order. On the Maverick, you did have to do a reservation, but the way they called it was that it was a reservation to lead, not a reservation to order. Process in their system, so you will not see it in your account on Ford's website. So yeah, notice that that was happening on mine as well. So I thought it happened the same way as Bronco, and it did not. So when would or how long EPA release? Once it gets okay to buy, then when would the EPA release information? If we get the okay to buy, I don't know. I don't know if there's maybe they're releasing numbers soon, and then they have to wait so long before they can actually be released. I'm not sure on that, so that's a good question. So we'll find out there. Do you know why the dash cam Ford offered is not meant to work with the hybrids? I didn't know that there was a dash cam, to be honest. People have actually, I thought saw that somewhere, but I don't see anywhere in the order guide any mention of a dash camera. There's no front camera, there's no camera in the screen. No, there's a back camera, backup camera, but there's no dash cam from what I understand. I mean, I'm sure you can add one, put one on your dash up there. But just join in. Oh, this is probably now. And I think it is. Oh, are we back? Are we back? I don't know if you can hear me or not. So I think I got the little message from YouTube there saying that the stream was going to end. So dash cam is available through Ford Accessories. So I haven't seen that, Mark. I might have to look that up. We're entering the website in last week. Oh, we'll have to check out those. So maybe we'll do a video, or maybe next week we'll go through some of those accessories that have been added, and I'll take a look at that. So thanks for letting me know. We'll check it out. And so I'm sorry, what was your question earlier? I think it went down on me. You had mentioned about the dash cam. I can't find it now. But yeah, repost that question about the dash cam. I'll have to look into that on the dash cam there. So can we see something about dash cam? It is a camera that is in back of the truck cab. Huh. I don't know. You will not, if you do have a Bronco on order and that gets updated, you should not get another email. No. The next email you get is when it gets scheduled. So it will not send a duplicate email of something they've already sent out. So it doesn't like refresh it or anything. So, all right. 12-volt connection in bed at tailgate. Is there anything near front end for lights? No, it's just the two that are back there. But there are your vehicle, and I was told they're going to come with 2 of these plugs, but it looks like there's one, and you can get another one through parts if you want. But there will be extensions on those. So they made an extension will come with your truck, probably in your glove box. Check on that. I've noticed on the ones we've received. So you're going to get a cord that should reach to the front. So what they've allowed it to do is that you can plug that extension into the back, and then you can run it through back into it, and you can be able to run it back, and there's holes throughout the truck, and so you can get to one of the holes in the front where it can come out, and then you can plug into the lights at the front of the bed. So those extensions, there are extensions to those, so they'll run back into the truck bed where you might need it, and so maybe that'll help you out there. Maverick. All right, obviously speculating, but if I ordered the 4th of October, getting it, nothing special with build but 4K and spare tire. Neither one of those are holding anything up, so I wouldn't see why you wouldn't have any problem getting that fairly quick. You know, it is an EcoBoost that helps. And again, this is the first week for scheduling for this month, so this is a big month. Dealers that have plenty of orders, you know, they're going to get allocations. You're going to see some of those with people that, you know, the dealers, like, we'll use all 20 of our allocations this week. I know that for a fact, because we have enough diverse orders in there that a lot of them are just going to get, we're going to use all of them. There's some dealers that maybe might have allocations, and maybe they'll have orders for something that Ford's looking for. So maybe if they have 4 allocations, and you know and maybe they have 5 orders, but you know some of their orders have the bed covers, and they don't want to pull bed covers right now, then they may have extra allocations for next week. And so then they'll let dealers know that, hey, if your customer, if actually we reached out to you, because there are a lot of people with bed covers still, and I've been covering and mentioning that for weeks now, that you should take your bed covers off. So you know, we made some phone calls out to some of our customers to say, hey, you know, you have an EcoBoost, it might schedule this week if you took the bed cover off. So we're, you know, letting them know that. I actually made a change to a couple orders of some customers that we let them know that. One of them had splash guards, which is still a late availability item that's not even available for build, and so we went ahead and took those off for them. So hopefully they get scheduled. A hybrid Maverick for snowy conditions. You shouldn't have any problem being a front-wheel drive with the hybrid. You shouldn't have really issues, you know, around town. If you're, you know, someplace that you maybe, you know, have dirt roads and stuff like that, I'd probably go all-wheel drive and go EcoBoost. But if you're in a town, you know, city and that kind of stuff, and driving around, front-wheel drive, you should be just fine, you know, with it. So off. And you know, just because it has a hybrid doesn't mean it's weak and it's puny and it's just going to take off like a golf cart or something. It works with that engine, the gas part of it, and it just takes off. Our Fusion hybrid has no problem taking off. So it does have power. Should not have any issues in that weather, and it'll have the traction control, which you can activate and deactivate when you need to in some of those situations. So snow tires and ground clearance work well. And, so. All right. Okay, there's a lot of comments here. I think I missed some things there. Order. Will you send me an email confirming? Yeah, Stephen, I'll get with you. I won't be back till Friday in the office, but I'll make sure that they went through your order, and I'll look it up myself and make sure we got all those changes that you're wanting done on that. I already have that in my schedule to make sure that gets done. And you'll probably get an email from me on Friday to just confirm it, and probably I'll send you a new sheet, because if anytime we make changes, I always like to print off a new sheet and have it sent off to our customers. So, do you know when dealerships in Canada will be having inventory of Maverick? I don't. That's a great question. I'm not sure on timeline for them. Can you do a Tech Tuesday on the base touchscreen of the Maverick on Sync 3? Funny you should say that. I actually cut a video. I recorded a video right on one of our first ones that came in, and recorded it and everything. And when I started the video, I checked my mic. It was all working and everything. And I went through my whole video. And then I looked at it afterwards, and I had no audio. So I was just like, oh. And then it was already kind of a long day after that, because I'd already cut 2 other videos. So I do plan on doing one. We'll get one of those. And I'm really not doing tech. I've kind of converted my Tech Tuesday videos to more of this Ford news and live stream now. So I'm not doing Tech Tuesdays, but I will do a special how-to video on that. So that way you can be able to check that out. We'll have that go live on our channel. So you want to make sure you have the notification bell turned on and you're subscribed, so that way you can get that. But and then of course I'll probably link it in our live streams. And if they text me that my order was not accepted in any changes after I requested the color swap. Yeah, so if you get it to where like Ford says I can't accept changes, that means that order has been pulled by the region down to priority 2, and the dealership cannot touch that order or change it. Or for what they're looking for, they'll pull it down to 2 so the dealer can't touch it, so that way it's the way they looked at it originally when they wanted to schedule yours. I have heard where some of those orders are staying down there for several weeks. And there were things that can't be ordered. I'm not sure why they got pulled down. So I don't know if you can, as the dealer, can contact the Ford rep and ask them to make those changes, because I think that they don't like to do this, but I think the region can make changes on those orders for you. So if your dealer contacts the Ford rep, as long as they don't do this often, the Ford rep will help out with that. So contact your Ford rep and see if there's any way that they can go ahead and make that color change for you to that order that's in status 2. I think that's the best way to go about it. So, okay. Not sure how long I'm going on the stream, because the stream started really bad, like 15 minutes late or something. So we're still going pretty strong here. Actually, I think, can it tell me how long? I don't know. Maybe you can. Anyway. Oh yeah, we've been going on for an hour and 11 minutes, which is fine. Okay. But I will need to drink something, because it's been stats for 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, I mean, have your dealer, ask your dealer to say, can you reach out to the Ford rep, because we've done that. We've had some. We actually had a Bronco order that was pulled incorrectly, should say, by Ford, and because it was one of the first editions for the Bronco, they would not. I mean, we tried for them to make changes. So I know changes can be made on certain ones. Bronco, the first editions on Bronco were actually only in a certain amount they were going to build, unlike it is for the Maverick, and they would not change it. But we actually all along ordered this customers as a 2-door, and then ended up they showed it, the factory showed it as being a 4-door, and they would not switch it to a 2-door. They said, nope, all of our 2-doors are done. They're capped. We can't do it, but we were able to find a dealer that had a customer that wasn't going to buy theirs, and we traded. We're going to swap them for that. So we're going to make it work out for the customer. But yeah, usually the Ford rep can reach out to them. If it hasn't been scheduled yet, but it's in 2, then the region should be able to change it. It shouldn't have to go to the factory level. There is a way where you can get communication to the factory to make changes before it goes to the plant for production, especially when it's just usually when it's a color change, that's not a big deal. If it's just a color change you want to switch, they should be able to do that. Even once it's scheduled, they should be able to do that with the factory, contact the factory and get that color changed on there. And I know somebody has done that because there's something in the Maverick Track Club forum, I believe, where somebody had an issue with that, and they got the color that that the dealer put in the wrong color, I think is what it was, and they wanted this other color, and the dealer realized their mistake, and they contacted their Ford rep, who then was able to contact the plant to get that color changed. So okay, they told me that until they get a VIN for my Maverick order, they can't lock in any finance rates, etc. Is this true? No. I even asked our desk manager today or last week, after last week's video, I asked him, I says, hey, if we already have it on order, even if they have a VIN or anything, can we go ahead and lock in everything? And he said, yes, we can. So not sure how you go around that, because if your dealer said that, then I don't know. But so, can McArthur ship a Maverick to Canada? Well, we're not supposed to. There is Ford of Canada and Ford of the United States, and we usually cannot sell to Canada. So we're not supposed to be able to do that. So so you can't order from us and then have it shipped to Canada. So from what I understand, so ship a Maverick to Ford. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So I don't believe so. We've had times where in the past, Ford has sometimes changed the rules on that, but we've had times where we've sold to people in Canada, but we could not claim any rebates. So they were not able to get any of the rebates. And because of that, it's because of the exchange rate and cost between Canada and the U.S. So they were having a lot of people in Canada that were wanting to buy vehicles in the U.S. and then have them shipped over there. And we were able to do used ones without any problem, but not new ones. So we like to play by the rules with Ford. Because we love being a Ford dealership and we do not want to upset them, so we play by the rules. So I'd have to double check on that, but the last I knew, we could not sell to somebody in Canada. So they have to contact a dealer in Canada. So my build got pushed back 1 week. Should I be worried? It's a Maverick hybrid with luxury off-road. No, we see that happen from time to time. For those to kind of be pushed back. I do know that I did hear that the plant was shut down like yesterday and today, so that might be why a lot of them got pushed back a week. What are your thoughts on the plug-in hybrid, a Lincoln Corsair? Any words on any all-wheel drive versions of that vehicle? Yeah, I really wish. I try to stay there's so much on the Ford that I really feel like I need to learn and know and know well, that I used to do real well with Lincolns and knowing Lincoln product, but I've really kind of, because I focused on the Ford, I've kind of let some of the knowledge go from that. I'd have to do some research on the Corsair. I do know there's supposed to be a plug-in hybrid version coming to the Corsair, but I have to do a little more research on the, what's available on that. So I don't have any of the order guides to be able to look at that. So might be something I'd have to, like, if you want to email me, I'm sure I can get that question for you later. So, after the stream's over, put that question down in there for me. I think it was the Badger, is that right? And, so after the stream ends, put the question in there so that way I can get that notification, and that way I can kind of respond to that question, because I can get that answer for you. Oh, got the yellow bars back on my connection. Sorry about this, folks. I mean, so it's only this week though, right? So there a chance that the XL could get a luxury pack? Probably not. I actually had made it a recommendation. I think that what they should do on the XL is, because I know their focus is making that just kind of a fleet vehicle, but why not having like especially people that like that interior, having like an XL luxury package that includes the power mirrors and the power tailgate and includes the cruise control, that kind of stuff, because there is on an XL F-150 you do have a power equipment group, or you have actually they do have like a 101A equipment group, which gives you the power equipment and then also gives you cruise control, and it gives you one other feature, but it gives you like a couple features plus the power equipment. So I mean that's what you need right there, is a nice XL luxury package that gives you the rest of the power stuff, so your power mirrors, your power tailgate, right, and then also give you the cruise control. A nice little package that gives you that for those customers that want that color interior instead of going up to the XLT. Although I do feel for $2,200, the XLT is a great equipment. If it's not the color of the interior that's the problem, I think XLT, that's a great, just go up to XLT. You get a lot more than just cruise control and power mirrors and power tailgate. You get a lot of other features. So, okay, where was I? I try to answer everybody's questions, so I try to scroll up and down here and try to read these. I'm sure you guys don't want to just read, but you guys can see the questions there too. So, how do you guys like the, by the way, how do you guys like the chat there? You guys like that? Is that, hopefully you guys do. Especially for those that are watching the video after the stream. I think they'll like being able to see that there and not have to pull up the chat to see that. And also don't forget, those are the Twitter on the left and Facebook accounts on the right. So if you're wanting to follow us on social media, I'm at Tim Bartz on Twitter. And then also at Law McArthur. If you want to see our Law McArthur Twitter account, of course, I always will retweet anything Law McArthur does. But also on Facebook, you have Law McArthur. We do have a Law McArthur Performance and a Law McArthur Lincoln Facebook pages there as well. So we do put different things on those Facebook pages. So you might check that out. Of course, we don't put a lot of Lincoln content on our main Law McArthur one. We do that Law McArthur Lincoln. So if you're looking for that, so. But anyway, you can find me there. I am on Facebook. I'm pretty careful on different people that I friend. I'm sure a lot of you others out there have gotten some fake accounts that have added you, but you can always follow me on Facebook too, and I think you can get all the same posts and everything, but you can find me there. So I just don't always friend everyone. Most of the people you have, I can tell that it's not a bot or something like that, then I will, but just so you see that. Not really on, I am on Instagram, but I don't really do much on Instagram. So I do have an Instagram account over there, but don't really do much there. So if you want to see some updates and such, I really like Twitter. I like to check my Twitter account a lot, and then that's usually where I feel like there's a lot of news. And so I follow a lot of different people, influencers on Twitter when it comes to Ford content and such. Like Mike Levine and some of those others on there. So that's where you can get your news updates and everything. So why can't I just go and got to my local dealership and buy and pick up a stock Maverick? I like to see the vehicle I am buying. Yes, you can, as long as they have some in stock. So right now, the stock units at the local dealerships are very low. And few, just like with their other vehicles. Maverick isn't the only one that we have marked up on our website. We have other vehicles that are marked up as well. I think we have a lot of our SUVs that aren't with rebates, because there's enough rebates there, but like F-150, I think there's a $1,000 rebate, and we have those marked up a couple of thousand as well. So it's not just Maverick we mark up, it's the others, just because limited supplies, and like I mentioned earlier in the stream, we saw just a lot of people that were buying ours at MSRP and then going and reselling them and at the auctions and such, and so we could just, and that was happening a lot to us, and then we were losing a lot of our inventory that way. Just like other dealers, there are dealerships that have. I know there's another dealership in our town that I won't say the make, but they have one new vehicle on their lot. So we're very fortunate where we're at, but again, we have to think about that too, and about how where we're pricing things. So we do have our vehicles over MSRP, and we have I know some people say we don't. That's not that's just bad business and this and that, but it is an open market, and we can price our vehicles up. And when there's a little demand, and if if the factors are pumping these out, we wouldn't have seen prices going up and down. So anyway, so Josh, welcome to the Lawn McArthur crew. I joined our membership. I didn't notice, but I actually set up a little thing up there, and I'll ask Jeff later if it popped up or not, or rewatch the video, but I tried to have that set up so that everybody could see that. So again, trying to add a little bit of flair to the stream here, but thanks for joining the Lawn McArthur crew there. And I will, for those that are in the Lawn McArthur crew, I am actually working on, I did some checking. I'm going to actually get some merch with my, I'm going to come up with a logo, Ford Video Guy logo, and I'm going to come up with some things that I can give out to all my members. So that's something that I want to do to everyone that's new and such. And so be looking for videos that are just for our members, as well as different look at that community tab as well. So I need to do a little bit better job of that, but I've been a little busy, so I'll try to do a little bit better job for our members on that. But so definitely want to give them some free merchandise and that kind of stuff, so I'll be looking for that. So also told me I can't get a lower price, they want 3,000 over list. Daniel, I'm not really surprised. Like I said, earlier the stream, we did $2,500 on our 3 stock units. And that's pretty typical. Most dealerships are doing the same thing on their stock units. If you're wanting, hopefully they allow you to still go ahead and drive it and everything, take it for a test drive so you can sit in it and everything else, so you have a good idea if you want one, and then order one. Like we're doing all of our ordered units, we're still doing MSRP and honoring that. So there are some people, I noticed there was somebody in one of the Facebook groups that says, I know a lot of people are going to give me a bad time that I paid over MSRP, but I really wanted one really bad, and I was okay with paying a little bit more extra, and then I'd be able to have one now. So that's so anyway. All right, Lawn McArthur ship their vehicles. How does Lawn McArthur ship their vehicles? Do they ship a truckload at once or one at a time? We actually put them onto I'm not involved in that process, but from what I understand is we put them out there as a bid for different shipping companies. They call it a broker, and basically they're looking for different ones that we have going out, and then they basically, in a sense, they're picking that, hey, yeah, we'll do that shipment for the price that you want. And that's why we try to, especially some of these are going all over the country, we try to get as cheap as we can, so we can go as far as we can with that. And so that's how those get shipped out. So they get scheduled pretty quickly. I think last week we had 6 Mavericks come in, and I think a couple went out pretty quick, and I think the other 4 went out over the weekend. So but yeah, so shippers will pick them up, and it's usually what I'll do is it might be someone that might come up and pick like 1 or 2 up, and then they'll go ahead and get them to like the nearest bigger city, like Kansas City, which is kind of a hub for some of those shippers and those bigger companies, and they'll put them all onto a 6-car carrier, and they'll ship it close to you, and then at that point they'll go off to a single car carrier that will take it right to your door. So that's usually how that works. So it is on a car carrier though. And actually I was on a live stream last week on actually an auto transport YouTube channel. In fact, they're going live tonight. They want to be on it because they want to talk to some people that's at the conference here in the digital realm of everything. And I was really hoping to work with someone there that is willing to maybe just partner with us, since we have so many that need to go out, that maybe they just partner with us and just be like, the shipper for us, that would just take care of us and just get things going faster. We do actually have 2, I think 1 or 2, we had 2, one has been having some issues, so we have 2 trucks, single car haulers. We do have one that needs to go, I think, to California, and we were having a hard time getting it picked up by a shipper very quickly, so he was actually going to drive it out there because I think there was some issue with how much it was going to cost, so we were just going to send him out. So we do have one guy that will transport vehicles here, and he stays real busy, so we do have, sometimes we'll go with him if we can't get a shipper to pick one up, or they're wanting a lot of money or something, then we'll use him and he'll ship out for us and such. And so he works for Lawn McArthur, and he does a single car hauler. He'll do that. That's why I'm buying. How do you become a member? Down where you subscribe to the YouTube channel, just to the right of that, there should be a join button. So if you click on that join button, then you go in there, it shows the different perks and everything. And at that point, then after you hit that join button, you learn more, then you have to join again, I believe. Anybody still in the stream? Still have 270. I thought I was boring you guys there. I'm the only person who ordered an XL. I'm not sure how many we have, but we do have a bunch of XLs ordered. You know, XL's not a bad trim, especially if you don't use the cruise much. If you're just around town, you're not going to use the cruise control. I think XL is not a bad trim. I mean, it comes pretty well equipped, you know. You know, if you're the one driving it, you don't need to move the seat around. You don't need the luxury package for the XLT. You know, do you now once you adjust the mirrors, do you need the you know, the power mirrors? I mean, I see that, you know, somebody that's going to be the vehicle they drive every day and nobody else is going to drive it but them, or something like that. You know, XL is a good buy. You know, so there's somebody else. There you go, TJ. He's got an XL all day there. He said. So we're the first edition Maverick Lariat with 4K tow package from your dealership on August 1st. Any thoughts on it getting a production date this month? I hope so. We have had several. Our general manager ordered a first edition. He hasn't been scheduled either yet. So hopefully we'll see some of those get scheduled this month. So again, the one thing about the first edition is it does require the luxury package, Lariat luxury package, and Lariat luxury package is, you know, one of those they're building. They're only pulling about 18% of those, so that's hurting the first editions because of that, because it requires that package. So, but hopefully, and they're a good place to be for building. So priority 10, dealers can put theirs anywhere from 10 to 19. 19 is the default when they go to put your order in, and then they can change it down to 10. We do that as default. Ours comes in as default 19, and first thing we do is we click and change that to 10. So as long as every other order at the dealership is the same, it doesn't affect your order. So what will happen is if you're coming around to a dealership and they have allocations, they're going to look at the priority 10s first, then 11, then 12, then 13, and move their way up. So if you're at 10, that's a good thing. That means your dealership is going to, yours is going to look at just evenly, if not better than anybody else's in the dealership. So. I think the hood is only. I think some people have asked about that, if what's aluminum on them and such, and I'm not 100% positive on that. I didn't really get into that, the materials on it. So, they received an order number. I still haven't received a VIN. Okay, yeah, you won't get a VIN until it's scheduled for build. So once you submit your order, you'll get an order number, and by the way, that order number is a dedicated order number for the dealer. So it's one that the dealer makes up. So on all of my orders, whenever you order a vehicle from me, they put T01B, so Tim Bart's, and then 01. And then like right now, I have 3 orders with the same order number, T01B. I have my sister's Corsair, which actually delivered, my Bronco, my Maverick, all have the same order code. So when I actually go to look for the orders, I use that T01B, and then I do a search on our internal database, and I see 2 orders that come up. I see my Bronco and I see my Maverick, so they can use the same order number. So that order number is an internal for the dealer. So we like to use, again, if you watch the live stream, I've mentioned this in the past, that we like to use the first and last letter as the first 2 digits of the salesperson's first and last name. So Mitch Harvey would be M01H, and then the next order we try to go M02H, and then we work our way up that way. So if you see like a really high number in between, if you have an order number, like I know Mike Mole's got one that's an M97M. That doesn't mean he's got 97 orders in, by the way. But a lot of times we don't want to have 2 that are the same, so we'll just throw some, we'll just start working our way. And especially the one that does the ordering at the desk. If he has done one for him earlier, and he knows that he did 05, he might, we are able to actually see all of them. that are under his, so sometimes we just have to put a number in there and hope that it doesn't match us. We do have a couple that have the same numbers, and one that's been scheduled and one that hasn't, and we had that issue come up. So that's just so you know that that's just an internal number. It doesn't conflict with your order whatsoever. So when you get once your order's been pulled and been scheduled, then you'll get a VIN number and you'll get another email saying that it's being scheduled for build. If they just drop it off and transport coming from Mexico. Yeah, if we did it. What's funny is my sister lives in Kansas City, and her vehicle got shipped up to Kansas City, then came down to us, and then she had to come to us to pick it up in Salina, which is 3 hours away. So it's like, can I just go get it? Because she's already in Kansas City. So that's kind of sometimes how that works. So we're actually waiting for Lightning here too. Yes, okay, Lightning. Hopefully we get some information on Lightning. I've been checking every day on Ford's internal website for any news on that, and haven't gotten any yet. So hopefully soon. Which way did is that Junior in Hawaii? I'm not sure. I think if I saw that right, it was Honolulu Ford in Hawaii. So I'm not sure. I think they're the ones that, I don't want to call out them necessarily, because we actually are drop shipping a couple to Hawaii, and I'm not sure. They may be a dealership we're shipping to, so I don't want, ruffle any feathers, but I'm not sure. I just know that someone, they put it in I think it was in Reddit. If you check into Reddit, the Maverick truck, the Ford Maverick truck subreddit, there's information in there. So when somebody has writes a lot, it's like boop, I'll let them go. Dealer allocations, Lux package, spray and liner, colors, hybrid versus eco, moonroofs are delayed, tonneau cover builds delayed, back to dealers allocations. It's you're right, John, there are a lot of variables. Somebody mentioned that, like on Bronco too, why couldn't they just make them in order that they came in? But when you think about, there's a lot that goes into that, and being able to do things faster. And I guess if they're able to pull through all the orders and say, well, let's just do this. I will say this: Ford was the first one to come up with the assembly line, and so hopefully they've have advanced it and perfected it. And I know they do a great job, and they work really hard. And by the way, can we all give a thumbs up to all the factory workers out there that work so hard building these vehicles as fast as possible? Because we want to build them as fast as possible. We also want to make sure when they get there that they're a great product as well, and they do a good job of quality checks and everything at those factories. So definitely. McArthur, what's your Maverick spec? I have a Maverick on order. I think you're talking about mine. I have a Maverick on order. It is a hybrid. It's an XLT hybrid with the XLT luxury package and the Copilot 360 package. So, of course, I added no bed covers or nothing else. So, stock owners, but can they mark up retail orders if you only have a Dora, and do they need to tell you beforehand? We did mention that at the beginning of the stream. You probably weren't on, about dealers doing that, and that technically they can do it. I think it's shady, and hopefully we don't see dealers doing that. And there was something that I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that something we to maybe do, that if you haven't done, is that if you want to go, when you want to go order your vehicle, that you make sure you get a buyer's order that has the breakdown of, okay, yeah, here's your order, here's what the price is from MSRP, and then a buyer's order that actually shows the price they're selling it for, and then any other fees. So then you get that breakdown. Because I've actually seen some dealers, some people, when they were trying to find dealerships, and that's how they found us, was that they were going on the different forums and they're saying, anybody know a dealership in this area? I've gone to 4 dealers and they're all telling me 2,000 over, or they're saying, yeah, they're going to sell it at MSRP, but then they told me there's a $1,500 market adjustment fee. So you want to go into them, and so you can do it now. And I would, try to do that, because then that way, before your vehicle gets in, you can argue and everything, and if you need to, contact Ford as well. But you know, and check that out and get that in the writing, so that way when you come in and they, you know, get the vehicle in, then they can't go, yeah, it's going to be this price, you know, all of our vehicles are this much over, and if they know I custom ordered it, here is the buyer's order that we talked about, remember? And then you can, I mean, you have it in writing. So it's an agreement between them of what price they're going to charge you, and it's an agreement of you that you're going to buy the vehicle when it comes in. So, and of course, most dealers, if you don't buy it, they'll just sell it for $4 or $5 grand over. So, but yes, they should not be doing that. I agree. So, so that's why most of you have orders with us. You'll know you have a buyer's order as well, and that's why we do that. Any updates on constrained items this week? Yeah, same as last week, because I actually went over it for the wholesale. So on the Maverick, it is, yeah, they give us that guide once a month. So I went over that last week. I don't have it with me here in Vegas, but I believe on the Maverick, if I remember right, tonneau covers, all the covers you want to stay away from. It's what, 3 to 5% depending on the cover. When I say what percentage, that means that's how many percent they're going to actually schedule. So out of 100 orders, they're going to pick 3 out of 100. So that's 3%, right? So so that's 3% of them that way. Also, I know bed mats is 3%, I believe. Any late availability items, you know, the splash guards, stuff like that. The drop-in liners, of course, 0 because they're not available yet. There's something else that was a 0%. I can't think of what it was now. Anyway, you should be good with moonroofs. You should be good with any of the sliding rear windows. You should be good. Any of the tow packages, any of the hitches, you should be good. The 400-watt outlets in the back, you should be good there with that as well. Again, accessories. You know, I've kind of said this in a lot of weeks. If it's something that the factory really needs to install, like the sliding rear window, like the moonroof, like the outlet behind the console, you know, the cab outlet, things like that. You know, I would even say the hitch. You know, let the factory order those. Those aren't going to hold up your builds. It seems like what holds them up more than anything is accessories. So the bed covers, spring liners, that's all materials they get from vendors. So that's not something that they get, you know, from that they have supplies on that they manufacture. It is actually some information. It's basically, it's, you know, especially the bed covers are actually getting that from Rev. Okay, so you're hearing it. You're getting it live. I got the email from the brand manager. I asked him. So my question on the OK, I said, so I saw Maverick Truck Club released information that their source at Maverick is giving a date of December 8th as OK to buy. Is that is any truth to that? So I got a response back. Let me read this before I read it out loud. Okay, so he's quoting basically word for word here is there is no OK to buy details to share on hybrid at this time. So Maverick Truck Club released that from a source that they had. Must have been someone that probably wasn't supposed to say anything. So December 8th could be real, but according to what he's able to share with me, he does it. And there's times where he does let me know. That's why I wanted to read it first, because there are times where he does tell me some insider information that he doesn't want me to share yet, and I'm very, you know, because he is so forthcoming with information, I'll do that, and he knows that. So I really believe that if it was something that was not of public knowledge, he would have told me, because there's something else that I cannot, you know, release yet that he actually has told me about on some things that, you know, he's let me inform me on. So basically, I think if there was an OK to buy date of December 8th, he would have told me, hey, this is a public knowledge. We're not saying it publicly or in the marketing team, but he's not saying that. He is saying at this time there is no details on to share on the hybrid timeline. So anyway, so just what it is there, whether it was insider information and it was just leaked and the rest of us not supposed to, not sure there, but anyway, so that's what we know at this point in time. Cool. Anyway, sorry, got a little distracted there, but yeah, the aftermarket stuff, or I mean the warranties, you want to talk to the F&I department. They have a lot of different extended warranties you can do with theirs. I really love that. You want to, I don't know if I can get the camera back so you can see that or not. You see that? You probably can't see. Oh, you're just seeing my room, the reflection. Sorry, folks. Let me get it back. Okay. So anyway, enough of that. Sorry. It's really loud. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but that's pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, extended warranties you get from the F&I department. They can go over different warranties. There's so many different coverages you can get, and they can go over pricing and everything when you get your vehicle. You can do that ahead of time if you want to, but you know, sometimes their prices might change and everything, just like the rates and everything may change. So just keep that in mind. So that's probably something you want to get with them when your vehicle's, you know, getting here and that kind of stuff, along with accessories. So okay. Okay. So my 3 vehicles ordered with Longmont. Can you tell me the status of each one of those? Yeah, I can do that. Steven, I can probably check on that. I could probably even do it from here. I actually, as long as I have internet service, I can check on the status on yours, and I can email you on all of them. So I will need, if you want to email me your order numbers, I will need that. Make it a lot faster for me to look them up. So if you want to email me your order numbers, I can check on them for you. By the way, Jane, okay, I mentioned the stuff of what the brand manager said on the OK to buy information, and I think one thing to share is that maybe it's sooner, and they just can't release that or something. But you know, just keep that in mind. So you know, I don't know about this date, and you know, that's sometimes when you have, you know, some of that's released out there, you kind of like, you know, you need to figure out where that's, you know, what's true and everything. But I really think that because this is being thrown out, maybe we'll get some press release coming up soon. Hopefully that'll happen so that we can get a little more information from the headquarters and maybe clarifying some things of why, you know, something, or you know, or at least something that they can let us know there. So because I did say, even when I talked to the person in charge of marketing at Ford, you know, even they said that they're still sticking to their, you know, fall deliveries, including hybrid. So that would need to have December deliveries. So at the latest, you know, what, December 21st is the first day of winter, right? So we need to have some deliveries in December. So the 8th, that's getting real close, because you won't be able to ship vehicles to customers by the 21st. So hopefully they can still stick to that and still have those deliveries. So cool. So okay, how are we going now? Now we're down to 200 people still in here. So okay, so we are a couple hours in here. What are we, an hour and 46 minutes I've been on with you guys. So appreciate that. I think you know, the questions are kind of, you know, slowing down here, and so can you get other dealers status too? No, I cannot. I can only do vehicles that we have on order. I can't get any other dealers information. So all right, so okay, so I think I've answered most of the questions. Again, as always, I appreciate you guys sticking on the live stream with me here. Had a lot of fun with this, and so, you know, thanks again for, you know, watching. Thanks for coming on, and sorry about the technical difficulties at the beginning. It was really like rough, so I tried to kick over to my phone. I think that's what messed it up. So sorry about that. And again, Charlie, thanks for subscribing to the channel. That did come up over there, so it's working good. Cool. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. And you know, as always, you know, I just appreciate all of you. The reason the live stream is going on is because of you guys out there coming on every week. So I appreciate that. You know, of course, really appreciate that. Thanks for looking out for me, reminding me of that. And again, don't forget, if you're not subscribed, to hit the subscribe button. And again, this live stream wouldn't be going on if it wasn't for you guys. So thanks, I appreciate for your questions and for coming in the live stream with me and helping me through this, and even sticking with me through the difficulties here. And I can even see my live stream froze there for a second. So we'll get back to Kansas and we'll get some, because you know, back there at the dealership we're like, you know, I'm not using Wi-Fi, so we'll get good connection going back next week. So again, thanks for joining me on this great Vegas live stream here, and thanks for joining in. And don't forget, until next week, we'll see you later. Have a great day. And if I get any exclusive news, we'll do a video and I'll have it go out to you guys in the lives in a separate video. So make sure you have the notifications turned on. So we'll see you next week. Bye.